this lesson, we'll look at an example of an IELTS bar and line graph together. It's not uncommon to get two graphs to describe at the same time in the IELTS test. It can look a bit scary at first, however when you look more closely you'll see it is probably no more difficult than having one graph. So let's look at the question in the graph. So the line graph shows visits to and from the UK from 1979 to 1999, and the bar graph shows the most popular countries visited by UK residents in 1999. So let's look at the key writing steps to describe two graphs together in IELTS. When you state what the graph shows, mention both of them. So this is for your introduction. Remember to write this in your own words and not to copy from the question. So this is the first sentence of your graph. The line graph illustrates the number of visitors in millions from the UK who went abroad and those that came to the UK between 1979 and 1999, while the bar chart shows which countries were the most popular for UK residents to visit in 1999. So they've both been described. Next, you need to mention the key points from the graph. This is what they call the graph overview. When you do this, mention the most interesting things from each. So for example, you could say overall it can be seen that visits to and from the UK increased and that France and Spain were the most popular countries to go to. So notice again, it's mentioned something from both of them, not just one. You should choose something from both. Now let's look at the body paragraphs. If there are two graphs and a lot of information, you'll have to be careful not to describe everything, as you may then have too much information. Also, the examiner is looking to see that you can select the most important things and not describe every single detail. So the key skill when you have two graphs is being able to pick out the important information or summarize things in a concise way. Otherwise you'll end up writing too much and probably run out of time. So here's an example description for the bar and line graph. It's organized as follows. The first body paragraph talks about the line graph, and the second body paragraph the bar chart. So to begin, the number of visits abroad by UK residents was higher than that for those that came to the UK, and this remained so throughout the period. The figures started at a similar amount, around 10 million, but visits abroad increased significantly to over 50 million, whereas the number of overseas residents rose steadily to reach just under 30 million. Now we'll look at the second body paragraph for the bar chart. So by far the most popular countries to visit in 1999 were France at approximately 11 million visitors, followed by Spain at 9 million. The USA, Greece and Turkey were far less popular at around 4, 3 and 2 million visitors respectively. So here you can then see the full description. So you've got what the graph shows and then the overview. You've got a discussion of the line graph, then your discussion of the bar chart. There's a link at the bottom of this video where you can go to look at this lesson and this description in more detail if you'd like more time to look at it. So summing up, you will not usually need to mix up the descriptions. This will only make things complicated and difficult to follow. So writing about the first one and then the second one is okay for a bar and line graph or any others that appear together. You can find lots more information at the IELTS Buddy website.